Welcome back to our podcast. Today we're going to be covering American ideals. One American ideal is obesity, and what more contributes to that than soda? So in the true spirit of our country, we'll be drinking some wacky sodas during our guest interviews. Our first guest, best known for being the author of An Immigrant's Contribution, and really nothing else, JFK. So how have you been, JFK?
I've been good. I'm feeling a bit nervous about this parade in Texas.
Oh, I hope some of the soda makes you feel better. So you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
That's what I like to hear. So the game will work like this. I'll flip a coin. You call it. Winner chooses what they drink, and the loser drinks what the winner doesn't. There will be 3 questions and 2 drinks for each question. So let's get started. Heads or tails?
Tails.
It's heads. So, I think I'll drink pumpkin pie,
Okay.
and you can drink peanut butter and jelly.
Alright.
So, what are some immigrant contributions you mentioned in your book?
Well, in paragraph 6 of my book, I talked about how different industrialists that made a big impact in immigrant contributions. So I believe that these people are American ideals because they have done something to change America for the better.
Interesting. Ready to drink?
Yep.
Okay, so, heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads. Okay, so,
I'll drink
Bacon or
bacon.
corn?
I'll drink bacon.
okay. You can pour yourself up. What does your story say about an immigrant's contribution to America, and how does it involve today's subject?
Well, there are 2 main reasons. I have them both started in paragraph 2. I believe economic opportunities, these are what Americans so good at for new immigrants.
I agree with those statements. Heads or tails?
Heads.
It's tails. So, you can drink ranch. Can you get your cup ready for us?
Yep.
So, how does this melting pot theory tie into American ideals?
It represents the mixture of American economic and cultures, all combining to make one good, great nation. The greatest soda has for the ingredient.
Let's drink. Well, we'll see you later, JFK. Hope you didn't get shot in the head.
Yeah.
Welcome back, viewers, to Blatant Ripoff of Hot Ones Part 2. Let's move on to our next guest. Diego Cofer, the author of the American History short story.
Hello everyone, I'm really excited to be here. I'm really glad that you invited me. Well, I'm here to talk about the short story I wrote recently, American History.
My kids really enjoyed this story because they too did not cry when JFK died and felt as if they were the only ones who didn't. Anyways, you've heard the rules, so let's get right into it. Heads or tails?
Alright, let's go. I think I'm gonna go tails this time. Tails never fails.
It's tails.
Tails, let's go. What are the
Jelly
choices?
or pumpkin pie?
I'm gonna go pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie. Get your cup ready. All right. So, Why did you make the story take place around the time of JFK's assassination?
I was really intrigued by how it brought the country together and how it made people really think what makes America America. For example, in my short story, on paragraph 19, Elaine, the main character, goes back home and sees the whole block is quiet and unsettling, and it's unsettling to her. This shows how everyone is affected by JFK's death.
Let's drink.
All right. Oh, that's weird. Okay.
Wacky sodas.
All right.
Alright, so, heads or tails?
Let's try heads this time, I guess.
It's tails. So,
What are the choices?
corn and bacon. I
Oh God, they're both.
will drink corn.
Okay.
You might want to use your sweater to open this one. Alright.
What's the next question?
Why did you choose to have this story take place in the city area? Like L Building? And how would it relate to American ideals?
Well, you see, L Building shows that even though many groups have come to America, most groups decide to hold their culture and stay colorful. This relates to America because a good example of this in America is, like you said, L Building. When I write about it for the first time, I write about it like a monstrous jukebox blasting salsas from open windows, and I just feel like that's what makes America, the culture.
Very thoughtful. Let's
All right,
drink.
let's try it.
Man, that really tastes like corn. Time for your final question and your last drink. Heads or tails?
Tails.
It's heads. So, I will drink ranch this time.
Okay.
You can have buffalo.
Okay. That was really bad.
These
Okay.
only get worse.
All right. All right. What's
So-
the final question here?
How does the message of your story relate to American ideals?
As you know, the story isn't the happiest one. It shows that America is not perfect, a perfect country. However, the American people see it fit to change, we can come together and end the injustice. Soda is constantly adapted and changed to get the perfect recipe, just like our nation changing constantly and improving.
That is really deep.
All right, last one. All right. I really enjoyed coming here and talking about my short story, American Ideals. I hope to see you again. I hope to see you again too.
Welcome back, everyone, to Blatant Ripoff
TunePocket.com.
Part 1's Part 3. Today, our next guest will be Amy Tan.
Hello, everyone.
Would you like to introduce yourself, Amy?
I am Amy Tan, author of the short story Rules of the Game, and today I will be discussing how my short story relates to American ideals.
So, you know the rules?
Yes, sir.
Very formal. Good. So, heads or tails?
Tails.
It's tails.
All right, what are the options?
Well, we got pumpkin pie and peanut butter and jelly. What would you like to drink?
All right, I think I'll take pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie. So, your first question is, how are Waverly and her family ideals similar to American ideals?
Well, that's a complicated question. Waverly and her family represent some aspects of American life, but the mom refuses to assimilate. In paragraph 12, her mom lists the things that China does best, in contrast to the lazy Americans. The whole story is based on the struggle between Waverly and her mom, assimilation versus refusal to change.
Good thought. Let's drink.
That's pretty good.
Mine tastes like dirt. Heads or tails?
Tails.
It's heads. So, we got sweet corn and bacon. Now, I'll give you sweet corn, only because I have not had bacon.
Alright, I'm lucky.
Gotta get all priority. So, the next question is, what are some ways that American ideals affected the story?
American ideals leave stress on the young family, for they are constantly under pressure to fit in and assimilate. The conflict arises from what I previously mentioned, to assimilate or not. In all of the dialogue, Miss Young speaks in very broken English, contrasted by her fluent speaking daughter. A good example of this is in paragraphs 10 through 12. Ma, what is Chinese torture? And her mom responds, who say this word? Her mom never bothered to learn English, and therefore assimilate.
I never would have thought that. Okay, let's drink. Yummy. Okay, so heads or tails, Amy? Tails?
Tails.
It's heads. So our last two drinks are buffalo and ranch. I will give you ranch.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna puke. So your final question is, in what ways does American ideals relate to chess?
Our ideals are what we strive to be, how we want the world to see us. The American people strive to be the best they can be. In chess, players need to do the same, constantly improve and adapt to be a better player. Paragraph 28 shows how Waverly attempts to get better. I read the rules and looked up all the big words in a dictionary. I borrowed books from the Chinatown Library. I studied each chess piece, trying to absorb the power each contained. It's really the same with soda. Each company needs to work hard to make the best recipe they can.
Okay, well thank you. Let's drink. Here you are.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Come on, Amy. Don't spit. Well, thank you, all three of our guests and all of our viewers. Please tune in next time.